Make sure to subscribe. I know you want to hear the story. My name is Morris Sam, and I'm about to tell you about the day that changed everything. The day I learned that sometimes karma doesn't just knock on your door, it kicks it down. It was a Tuesday morning. I remember because Tuesdays were always presentation days at Vertex Solutions. I'd been working on this project for 3 months, a revolutionary data integration system that could save the company millions. I'd poured my heart into it. Late nights, early mornings, weekends sacrificed. This was my shot at finally being recognized. I arrived at the office at 8:45 a.m., 15 minutes before the big meeting with the executives. My palms were sweaty as I clutched my laptop bag. Inside were my notes, my presentation deck, everything I needed to show them what I'd created. But as I approached Conference Room A, where the board was already gathering, Sarah Jenkins from security stopped me at the door. "I'm sorry, Mr. Sam. Your name isn't on the access list for this meeting." I blinked, confused. There must be some mistake. "I'm presenting today. The data integration project?" She checked her tablet again, shaking her head. "I'm sorry, sir. Only Mr. Hendricks and the executive team are cleared for this meeting." Mr. Hendricks. Derek Hendricks. My superior. My stomach dropped. But that's my project," I stammered. "I'm just following orders, Mr. Sam. Please step back from the door." I could see through the glass panels into the conference room. Derek was there, standing at the front, my presentation displayed on the screen behind him, my charts, my graphs, my 3 months of work, and I was standing in the hallway like some kind of intruder. The humiliation burned through me like acid. Other employees walked past, glancing at me with pity or curiosity. Lisa from accounting gave me a sympathetic look. Marcus from IT avoided eye contact entirely. Everyone could see me being shut out. I wanted to burst through those doors, I wanted to scream. But what could I do? Derek was a senior director. I was just a project manager. In the corporate world, that's like being a peasant confronting a king. So I stood there, frozen, watching through the glass as Derek began the presentation. I couldn't hear the words, but I could see him gesturing confidently, pointing at my slides, probably taking credit for every single innovation I'd developed. The executives were nodding. They looked impressed. Of course they did. It was brilliant work. My brilliant work. I felt sick. 3 months, countless hours, all for nothing. No, worse than nothing, for someone else's glory. After about 10 minutes of torture, I couldn't watch anymore. I turned away from the conference room and walked back to my desk, my feet heavy, my mind reeling. How could this happen? How could Derek just steal my work so blatantly? I sat at my cubicle, staring at my computer screen without really seeing it. My colleague, Jennifer, leaned over the partition. "Hey, Moores, weren't you supposed to be presenting today?" I couldn't even answer. I just nodded weakly. "That's rough, man. Office politics, huh?" Office politics. Like that made it okay. Like that made it hurt any less. I spent the next 40 minutes in a daze, contemplating whether I should just quit. Start over somewhere else. Somewhere where your work couldn't just be ripped away from you by someone with a fancier title. Then, at 9:47 a.m., something happened that I didn't expect. Something no one expected. My phone rang. Internal number, extension 2001. That was Mr. Jacobson's office, Theodore Jacobson, the CEO. My heart raced as I picked up. "Hello? This is Morris Sam." "Mr. Sam, this is Vivian, Mr. Jacobson's assistant. The CEO would like to see you in conference room A immediately. The meeting is still in progress." What? Now?" "Yes, sir. Right away, please." I hung up, my mind spinning. What was happening? Was I being fired? Was Derek accusing me of something? I walked back to conference room A on shaking legs. This time, when I reached the door, Sarah the security guard gave me an odd look and opened it for me without a word. All eyes turned to me as I entered. The entire executive board. Derek standing at the front, his face suddenly pale. and at the head of the table, Mr. Jacobson himself, holding what looked like a printed document. "Mr. Sam," Jacobson said, his voice calm but carrying weight. "Please, come in. We've been waiting for you." Waiting for me? I stepped inside, completely confused. Jacobson gestured to an empty chair. "Please sit down." I sat, my eyes darting between Derek and the CEO. Derek looked like he'd seen a ghost. "Mr. Sam," Jacobson continued, "about 30 minutes ago I received an interesting email. Actually, we all did." He held up the document. "It appears to be automatically sent from your project management system. Something about a milestone completion notification?" My eyes widened. Oh my God. The automated timestamp system. I'd set it up months ago to track my progress and send completion notifications to stakeholders. I'd completely forgotten about it. Jacobson continued. "This email contained detailed logs of your work on this data integration project. Timestamps, version histories, development notes, all dated over the past 3 months. All clearly showing that you, Mr. Sam, are the sole creator of this system." He turned to look at Derek, whose face had gone from pale to bright red. "Mr. Hendricks," Jacobson said, his voice now ice-cold, "would you care to explain why you're presenting Mr. Sam's work as your own?" The room was dead silent. You could have heard a pin drop. Derek's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. I supervised the project. I provided guidance. According to these logs," Jacobson interrupted, "you had 0 contributions to the actual development. In fact, it shows that Mr. Sam requested your review multiple times, and you never responded, not once." I sat there, stunned. My automated system, the boring, bureaucratic tracking tool I'd built to cover myself, had just exposed everything. One of the other executives, Mrs. Chen, spoke up. "Mr. Sam, were you aware that Mr. Hendricks was presenting your work today?" I found my voice, though it came out shakier than I wanted. "No, ma'am. I was told I wasn't allowed in this meeting. I was stopped at the door." Another executive, Mr. Patel, frowned. "By whose orders?" Jacobson looked at Derek. "Mr. Hendricks?" Derek was sweating now. I thought it would be better if I presented it. More polished, more professional. Morris is young, inexperienced in these settings. "So you deliberately excluded the creator of the project," Jacobson said flatly, "added your name as the lead, and intended to take full credit. Is that correct?" The silence that followed was deafening. Derek tried one more desperate play. "With all due respect, sir, this is how mentorship works. Senior staff guide, junior staff mentorship," Mrs. Chen cut in sharply, "involves teaching and crediting your mentees, Mr. Hendricks, not stealing their work." Jacobson stood up, and everyone's attention snapped to him. "Mr. Hendricks, you're suspended effective immediately pending a full investigation. Security will escort you out. You have 1 hour to collect your personal items." Derek's face crumbled. "Sir, please, I've been with this company for 12 years, and in 12 years you should have learned integrity," Jacobson said coldly. He pressed a button on the conference phone. "Security to conference room A, please." As Derek stood there, humiliated in front of the entire executive board, I felt something strange. Not satisfaction, exactly. Not even vindication. Just relief. Pure, overwhelming relief. Jacobson turned to me. "Mr. Sam, I apologize on behalf of Vertex Solutions for what happened here today. You should never have been excluded from this meeting. Your work is exceptional." "Thank you, sir," I managed to say. "Now," Jacobson continued, sitting back down, "why don't you walk us through your presentation, the real version, from the person who actually created it?" And so I did. With shaking hands at first, then with growing confidence, I presented my work. I explained every decision, every innovation, every challenge I'd overcome. The executives listened intently, asking questions, offering genuine praise. When I finished, Jacobson smiled. "Brilliant work, Mr. Sam. Truly brilliant. I think we need to have a conversation about your future here at Vertex, a future that includes a significant promotion and a salary adjustment to match your contributions. My heart soared. Sir, I... Thank you. Thank you so much. As the meeting adjourned and I gathered my things, Mrs. Chen approached me. Mr. Sam, that automated tracking system you built, the one that exposed all of this, that might be even more valuable than the integration project itself. We should implement that company-wide. I couldn't help but smile. My boring, bureaucratic safety net had become my saving grace. As I walked out of that conference room, this time through the door, not standing outside it, I realized something important. Sometimes the universe has a funny way of working things out. Sometimes the very thing you build to protect yourself becomes the thing that sets you free. Derek Hendricks was fired 3 days later after the investigation confirmed everything. I got his old office. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I'd earned it. And every time I walk past Conference Room A now, I remember that Tuesday morning. The morning I learned that truth has a way of surfacing, even when you least expect it, especially when you least expect it. My name is Morris Sam, and that's how I stopped being invisible.